Before we start the show, I just want to share my affirmations. Guys, this year has been obviously long and tough. And as a mother, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about your child. You also try to learn a lot about the things that you do, the things that makes you happy. So this year, I'm thinking, what is that one thing that I learned? I learned that patience is important, especially when it comes to parenting, learning to be patient with myself. You know, as a mother, as a single mom, I judge myself a lot. I don't have time for my child. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time for things that makes me happy, which is obviously Nema. But I'm learning that I should be patient and kind to myself. I also need to be patient for my daughter, Nema. Nema, sometimes, obviously, she's naughty. Sometimes I don't understand what's happening, but I have to be patient with her because she's learning me. She's learning me as a mom. She's learning to be herself. She's learning her personality. And I must also be patient and understand that sometimes she's just a child, man. Let me be kind and patient with her. So those are my affirmations. Be part of the exclusive Kepi collab by following or tagging Kepi Africa on Instagram or Facebook and share your affirmations. And welcome to Mommy Diaries. Let's say by this show, we talk about all things parenting, motherhood, and this amazing journey. On today's show, we have a beautiful lady. Also, at the same time, one stressor because what gym and gym. Lefase, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
You look amazing.
Thank you so much. You too.
So, at the first time I met you, I went to your, I think it's a boot camp, something was it Rosebank? More parking alley.
Oh yes.
Yes, and I went with Tandima Deila and we were gymming, and I think we had just had kids. I think it was a year after.
Yeah.
And we non jaja ka look, but how gym ke e ha ke gym ke wana nsheba so ke yo. I felt like you were judging me, but how are you doing?
Today, if you had asked me 3 days ago, I'd say I'm good. Today, I just feel like I'm above water.
Above water. Lukewarm or sharp, or you're just okay.
Surviving today.
Yeah.
Not sure about next week, but today.
Yeah, I'm surviving today. But besides that, normally when we ask people how they're doing, they always say they're good. At least you're honest. Because sometimes knowing very well that you're not that great. But who's Lefase? Where you from? What do you do? What do you like?
Phew.
I asked you too many questions.
No, it's been a long time since someone has asked me that.
Yeah.
So Lefase is a 37-year-old mom of one, little Ayana. Born and bred Kolubwa. Went to boarding school all her life.
Okay.
Moved to Joburg 2005, and I've been in Joburg since then. And I'm an events planner.
Okay, and how's that? How's business?
Ever since COVID, we are all just trying to make it in. We're all just trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah. And have you always wanted to do events?
No.
Is that your passion? What's your passion besides
always wanted to do events?
Looking good.
So when I was in high school, I discovered in high school that I'm a creative and not an academic. So, and only discovered in varsity that I studied differently, but that's a story for another day. Yeah. So my dad now with us was then at 7. I don't know what.
Next
7. When we all had to choose our subjects, and I was like, I'm sure I'm cutting maths. I'm definitely sure I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So fine, you either had to do maths, literature, or tourism. Then I went with tourism. That's how I discovered events, right? Oh. But when I left high school, I actually wanted to go study motion picture. And my poor dad from Limpopo was like, what is
motion?
Not with my money.
Yeah. Now, being a mom, have you always wanted to be a mother? Because sometimes, you know, like you know what you want for yourself, whether mama or have you always wanted to be a mother?
I wouldn't say I've always wanted to be a mother, but I've always loved kids. So I was that one that when we're all as cousins, I'm the one that they always asked to look after the children. So that was my thing. The only time I really wanted to be a mother was after I lost my brother. I don't know if that feeling was to fill a gap, but that was when the urge to become a mother really began.
Yeah. And when the day you found out that you're pregnant, take me through that day.
Shoo. So I fell pregnant for the first time in 2014. Then I had a miscarriage. Then I fell pregnant for the second time in 2016. I was nervous because of the miscarriage.
Yeah.
So I was holding my breath the entire pregnancy, honestly speaking. Tried my best not to, because you also don't want to stress yourself. So,
Yeah.
but towards the end of the pregnancy, I was just like, yeah, we fight to the end. We fight to the end.
Yeah.
That's when the excitement actually kicked in.
And did you go for any like support? You know, like people go through miscarriage and then they move on immediately, because sometimes people think, I don't know how to put it, especially if you would go through it. Actually, I was pregnant and I went through a miscarriage. Do you think you got over the pain immediately after you fell pregnant, Ayana?
No, you don't ever get over that pain. It's like mourning somebody who died. But now this one that you're mourning, you've never met.
Yeah.
It's always could have been, what if.
Yeah.
So that follows you for a long time, but you get used to the feeling.
Yeah. And how was pregnancy, Ayana?
It was lovely. I was a tiny little pregnant woman, and then after giving birth, I just blew up. So yeah, she was kind. I mean, I craved fruits. People don't crave fruits. I had fruits. And more fruits and more fruits. And then I gave birth and I wanted chocolate. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night after giving birth to go buy lunch by the garage. But people did when they were pregnant. I did. I did after.
Only after. Yeah. And then after she was born. So the reason why I also wanted to have a conversation with you, I saw your post on Instagram, which I think, for lack of a better word, because my English is not English in today, I'd say I was not surprised, but I was surprised of how strong you are. And the reason why I'm saying that, you know, Instagram, sometimes it's not real. We post whatever we want to post. I always see your posts on plugging us as women. Hey guys, I bought this product. Please go get it. It's good for you. I always see your funny posts about things that we see online. Not once did I ever think that you are going through what you're going through. What made you come out? Because I know you've been very private about the little time I've followed you. I've never seen you post, Ayana. You speak about your child. You speak about being a mother. What made you decide to go out there, so that also I think it inspired a lot of women who might go through what you're going through?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of sharing your story.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a story to tell. And you're never the only person going through a certain thing.
Yeah.
And your story may heal somebody else, or your story may help somebody one day when they happen to go through what you went through.
Yeah.
The reason I kept quiet about it for a while is because I was still dealing with it myself. I was still navigating my situation, and I couldn't share something that I was not ready to share, because I was still not sure of what I was actually dealing with and how I was going to deal with it. So once I was ready and comfortable with where I was, I decided it was time to share.
And what are we talking about? Because I'm sure someone who's watching, what are we sharing here?
Okay.
Ayana's condition, and we'll talk about the foundation after.
Yeah. So Ayana was born healthy.
Okay.
Reached all her milestones. At 14 months, I took her to creche, started going to school. 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, you know, they always pick up bugs, na.
Yes.
Then this time around, she got sick and just was not recovering. And one day I took her to the doctor. They gave her antibiotics, like chest infection. But then she started becoming lethargic. She wouldn't wake up. She couldn't lift her head. Called the doctor, and I'm like, this is what's happening. These are the meds the GP gave us. I called the ped. And he's like, it sounds like you're on the right meds, but if she's the same tomorrow, bring her to me. Let me see her. She was the same the next day. I took her to him. He admitted her so he could run the antibiotics through a drip. You know, when you go into hospital and you're just like, it's going to be 2, maybe 3 nights, and then we go home, and it turned to 6 months. So she got admitted the one day. The very next day, she had a stroke, had a seizure. They discovered she was actually admitted with strep pneumonia, which developed into meningitis. Had the seizures, had the stroke, was taken to ICU. Then she was unconscious for 7 days. I think they put her in an induced coma, and she was out for about 7 days. Then she had another seizure, which caused hydrocephalus. Then she had to get a shunt put into her brain to drain out the water. Then she had recurring sepsis, so that's why we couldn't get out the hospital, because she just kept picking up infections. And then she had to go do a biopsy, and they discovered that the shunt had an infection, so they had to go take it out and then put it back in. And then eventually, when she went in July 2018, came home January 2019. And that's when the real journey began, because she was staying with the nurses the whole time while she was there, because she was in ICU for a long time. Mm. Then she came home, and then we had to figure out our new normal with Ayana, and it's been that up until now.
And was it when the doctors explain? Is there what's the cause? What caused? There's no.
Well, first, they checked if she's up to date with all her immunizations, which she was. She was the only person at school that had it, so nobody can tell what really happened. But they did discover that she had some immune deficiency where her body can't fight off infections.
Oh, so that
would have... But they said that's normal. Many people have it. They also don't know that they have it.
Yeah.
So that's basically...
Now, coming home, I can only imagine also the costs of... having a child is very expensive, whether they are healthy or not healthy. I can only imagine the costs. And now, like you're saying, having to take her when she came out of the hospital, coming home, it sounds like it's quite costly. The day she came back home, how was it? And did you get enough support, obviously, from family and friends?
It was scary. Speaking of expenses, how I'd put it is, if you have one special needs child, the amount you spend on that one child is like the amount of money you spend on 8 children. That's how I'd break it down for you. That's how expensive it is. But support, yes, I have a very good nanny, guys. I think God knew that I would walk this journey, because I hired my nanny just before I gave birth, October 2016. She's still with me till this very day. She's very good with my child. Very, very. I could leave for 2 weeks and I'll know they'll be fine.
Did you have to take her through any maybe courses, or so that she can understand?
I trained.
You trained.
So while she was in hospital, I'd be there every day and I'd watch what they do, and then I'd ask to try and all of that. Then when she got out, and then I showed my nanny how we do this, how we do that. So even in the therapy sessions, you learn how to do certain things, how to mobilize her during the day. Because medical aid only covers one physio a week. So if she's gone to physio on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you must do the physio at home yourself.
Okay.
If she goes to OT on Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you must do the OT at home. So you have to learn how to do those things at home.
And then for when, when you have that support, yes, but how lemonosi, do you not blame yourself as such, but are there things that you were thinking about, Mudimu, why is this happening? What can I do? We can support around. When you're alone, how do you even live? You know what I mean? When I say live, also and go have dinner with friends when you are going through what you're going through.
I've never ever felt like, why me? Or asked or questioned up until 2 days ago. So I'm a firm believer in, why not you? If not you, who else must carry this load, right? So 2 days ago, we actually took her in to see an orthopedic surgeon. The physio suggested that we do that before the end of the year. So we went in, because you must always maintain the hips. You always must check that the hips are still functioning correctly and in the right position. And we found out her hips are completely dislocated, both sides. So I said I wasn't going to cry. So that day, I just felt like I've let her down, but also I felt like, how hard must I fight, I feel like I fight for her so much. And there's a part of me, I've never felt like this. And to some people, it may sound bad, but I asked myself as I was driving home, and she could sense that my energy was low because she kept making a noise at the back. I asked myself, was it the wrong decision to fight so hard to keep her alive? Because now she's suffering. I asked myself if it was my fight for my child to suffer, because there's always something. There's always, always, always something. And that day, as I was driving home, I was like, was my fight for her to live only for her to suffer? Is it fair that she must go through all of this stuff? You know, but I would never wish my child away, but sometimes I feel so bad. I feel like I fight so hard for her. But is my fight really fair on her? You know? But only God knows.
Yeah.
Only God knows.
With the foundation, because I think that's the main thing that I really wanted to be part of in a way that I can.
Yeah.
When you started the foundation, obviously you did your research to find out if they'll be able to help her. Besides people donating money, if you can just give us a little information about where she'll be going, and if you know for sure that they'll be able to help her for the operation and everything to happen.
Okay, so the unfortunate thing about neurological rehabilitation is that you'll never know what you're going to get. You don't know how far someone will recover because nobody really knows how much the brain can repair itself. So I followed Apex Brain Center for a while, and then after that I found Neuro Solutions. That's the one I followed a lot. Okay, because I saw they were helping a lot of children, so I follow them quite a bit. And maybe they only share the success stories, which is fine for me. But they have helped so many people. I'm not expecting my child to be the child I gave birth to, but I want to give her the best chance at an independent life, because if I die today, I don't know what will happen to her. Honestly, I don't know. And my prayer to God is always that may I outlive her, because I don't know what will happen to her should I die before her. So Neuro Solutions basically just has innovative ways of repairing the brain and white matter that she has lost. She's lost quite a lot of white matter. So I follow them. They're a lot, people can go check them out and just see all their reels of people's journeys of where they started and where they are now and all of that. And what's exciting for me now is that they're opening a center in Dubai, which will be much easier to get to than the Texas one.
Yeah.
So I just want to give her the best shot at recovery. Yeah. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
So that she at least can be a little more independent.
Yeah.
So that even if I was to leave before her, that she'll be able to be okay without me.
And for mothers who are watching, who are going through the same thing, having a child who's not able to do things for themselves, what keeps you going every day?
It's her, because she fights every day. So I cannot give up while she tries every single day. So it's her, honestly speaking. I don't want to lie. She tries every day, so she's the reason why I keep trying. I'm sorry. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And where can people donate for the foundation? What they can donate? Is it just money, or what else do you need?
Well, right now it is money, but if they can just share the story, I'm more than happy. Yeah. If they can just share the story, not everybody can donate. So those that can't donate but can repost, that's more than enough for me.
Okay. Yeah. And then how is I know with my situation, when I say situation, I'm co-parenting with my ex-husband. Co-parenting is not easy.
Yeah.
Whether la utlwana kapa lutlwane, it's not easy to raise a child separately. How is that going, especially with condition ya Ayana?
It's tricky. I used to be that, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Co-parent.
Yeah.
But I've had to understand that we give how we were given, or how we wish we were given. And you can't make someone give you something they don't have. What they are giving is the best that they can give. Accept that so that you can be at peace. So that's how I co-parent. I used to fight a lot. And I've also had to understand that what I give, he can never give. What he gives, I can't give.
Yeah.
So it balances itself out.
Yeah.
So as much as sometimes I get very angry about the amount of time he does not spend with the child and all of that, and sometimes it's hard to see him give to another man's child who's not his more than he gives to his own. But it's a journey I've had to accept. I mean, I remember my dad called me once after an incident that had happened, and he said, my child, you're going to have to accept and understand that men are built like that. You will watch him raise another man's child, and you're going to have to be okay with that. And I'm learning to be okay with that. Him and I had a conversation about how he doesn't come to see the child, how the time has become less and less and less and less and less. And he said to me that he's aware and he knows he can do better, but he doesn't have time. I left the conversation at that because I believe we make time for the things we think are important. And I'm just done fighting where that is concerned. I'm not even going to lie. So what I get is what I get. What I don't get, I don't get. So that's where my co-parenting is. But now that I don't complain about much, we're at peace.
Yeah.
There's peace. I won't lie, there's peace.
Yeah.
I won't sit here and lie and say financially he does not do his part. He does his part. I've never had to call him and say, you haven't paid for this, the child's medical aid, the child, everything that she needs financially, he takes care of. It's just time where I need him to make time that he struggles with. But
yeah. And then when would the operation, or when?
It's not an operation. So
what is it?
It's intensive. It's called intensive therapy. So what she does once a week here, they would do every day for about 3 weeks there, but they have all sorts of equipment and red light. What was it they used to repair some cells in the brain? So that's what she would be doing every day for about a month.
When do you want that to happen?
As soon as we have the money.
Yeah. So you're going to have to stay there for a while. It's not like an in and out thing.
For about a month.
A month.
Yeah. So because it's moved to Dubai, I mean, we needed 1.6 to take her to Texas. I just need to rework how much we need to go to Dubai. But I didn't want to change that fee because if we can do twice, I'd be happy.
Okay.
Where she can go, or if you can see her stay 2 months to do it.
Yeah.
So that when we come back, at least we are in a different space. I'd be very happy.
Yeah. And how's your family doing? Because obviously your family loves you. They care about you. What affects you affects them. How has this affected them as people that love you?
Well, my parents have taken it really hard. I think harder than me, right?
Yeah.
So most times, I try not to break down when I speak to them. Because, if I break, then they break.
Yeah.
So I try and brave it out for them so that they don't worry too much.
Yeah. Because
I know my mom takes it really hard. I remember she couldn't eat when my child was in hospital. All she could stomach was biltong, so she keeps salt in her system. Yeah. But I mean, thank the Lord, my mother's retired now. So because there's nobody else who knows how to take care of my child except me and my nanny, my mom has taken the time to come and learn now that she's retired.
Yeah.
So I have a substitute.
Yes, you do.
Thank the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but my parents have been very, very, very supportive. I mean, there are times where I can just take her to my parents and just get a break. But then getting a break means she misses therapy. So it's very tricky, like trying to balance this whole thing out. But I mean, we've been.
In a way, it's like, have you never had issues where maybe one of the family members or no, as Black people, it's not just medical stuff only. You would hear things like, hey man, maybe re lo check us somewhere, maybe
the tricky part for that is that I don't know my ex-husband's culture. I've tried to ask. He doesn't know either. He's tried to ask. So yes, it has been said, but it's very difficult trying to find out what they do because the reality is Ayana Rankoe. So, but also Rankoe, it's a very tricky story. So Rankoe is the dad's mother's surname, not the dad's surname. Yeah. So it's very tricky and with traditional stuff, you miss that step, then there's what and what. But I'm trying to gather it. I'm trying every angle. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to leave any stone unturned.
Yes.
I honestly am not. I'm not leaving any stone unturned.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I get really tired. I'm just like, what more does the world want from me? But you gather yourself and you keep going.
And any advice you would give for a mother who has no family, hana support, and they're going through the same thing that you're going through?
Make friends with mothers that are going through the same thing. It does not have to be cerebral palsy, like Ayana has cerebral palsy. Like, I meet many mothers at the therapy centers.
Okay.
I talk to the therapists. They share a lot. And if there's someone they can refer me to who's going through something, who has bought some equipment for their child that I can go get that will help my child. That's just because I talk a lot with the therapist. I ask a lot of questions. So for me, it's make friends with people who are going through the same thing. You may never know what you're going to learn from those people.
Yeah. And the machines that you're talking about, they are available in South Africa. It's just that
sometimes, because some of them, the physiotherapist brings them in. The physiotherapist that my daughter goes to, the Hyper Vibe I bought from her. It's just that it's expensive. And the reason I started this foundation, not only to take Ayana to the States, Ayana is just my guinea pig. I'm not going to send somebody else's child somewhere and I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah.
Ayana is my guinea pig. But the main reason I started this foundation is to try and assist other parents who can't afford certain things because it's expensive. I mean, a buggy is about 65,000. That's a stroller for your child to get the right physical support. It's about 65,000. Then you need a car seat that has the right support, which is 70-something thousand. It's just a lot of stuff that you need to buy and not everybody can afford it. Yeah. And the stuff that's affordable is not as comfortable for the children, and the children can't grow with it. I mean, the first buggy my daughter got when she was 2 years old. We've only changed it now when she turned 7. So you're able to keep it for a long time.
Yes.
But the ones that you get via, government, you can't grow with them. So you're constantly having to get a new one. As much as they are cheap, you end up spending the same amount of money because you can't use it for a long time. So that's the main reason I started the foundation, is to at least try and help people who can't afford to get the right equipment.
And not just to go to Dubai for the treatment, but also for those, for the equipment. Yeah. Okay. So the account number and everything, will write it on the screen so that people can donate and help. And like you said, it's not just for Ayana. I thought it's just to help Ayana. It's to help.
She's just my first project because I want to be able to take other children, but I don't want to do it while I don't know what actually happens when the children get there.
And there's nothing like that in South Africa?
No.
Sure.
No, there isn't.
Sure.
Yeah, there isn't.
Not even one?
Like you can go to physio, you can go, but you not what everyone is doing overseas. No, we don't have.
Is it because maybe the stats are low? That's why it's not here, or
no?
Medical
aids are actually just not for us guys, honestly speaking, because I have to fight for them to pay for equipment. You can only buy one equipment for every 3 years.
Then why do we have medical aid?
And the child needs more than one equipment every 3 years. So it's the craziest thing. I mean, right now you can't get a car seat for a special needs child from your medical aid. You have to buy it cash. There's no nappy code for a car seat. There is no nappy code. So if you want a car seat, you have to find 60,000 plus to buy it. And medical aid does not cover it. Not a single medical aid covers a car seat. They'll cover a portion of your buggy. They'll cover a portion of your standing frame, but definitely not a car seat. I don't know how they think you get the child to therapy if you don't have a proper seating to put her into. It's one of those things.
Sure.
And that's why I wanted to start the foundation, because there are so many people in need of the right equipment and they can't get it because of finances.
Imagine Batwako Hayakuma Haying the same condition and they can't even afford to buy bread. What about a car seat?
Yeah, so I met this, I didn't meet her. She was following me in the mall. It was so strange. So I'm pushing my daughter. We're waiting for my helper to finish in the bag. So I'm pushing her because she's falling asleep. So I'm just trying to get her to sleep. And this lady keeps following me in the mall. She just keeps following me. Then I stop. I'm like, sorry, can I help you? She's like, no, I like your daughter. I'm like, why? She's like, I have a daughter just like her. And then she asked me, she's like, how are you so brave to take her out? I can't take mine out because everyone stares at me. So I said to her, they'll stare once and they'll never stare again. You stop noticing the stares after a while, you know? Then she asked me, she does therapy. And I tell her, she's like, I had to stop mine. I'm like, why? She's like, no, government-funded facilities, once your child turns 12, they say she's too old, so they stop taking them for physio. So those are the stories that make me want to help other children. Because you have to keep mobilizing the child or else the body becomes stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think especially with us, like you're saying, some people are embarrassed to even because of people are gonna stay or feel that whole thing of feeling sorry for you. Do you get those a lot?
I don't even see it anymore. I honestly don't even notice it.
Yeah.
It's my child. I can't change it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like these are the cards I was dealt.
Yeah.
I can't hide her.
Yeah.
She also needs fresh air like other kids. She's just like other kids. It's just that her body has failed her.
Yeah.
Her brain still functions, just the body has failed her.
Yeah. And what do you do with her for fun? What does she like?
My child likes to ignore people. My child is very good at pretending to be sleeping because she doesn't want to do something. I mean, the other day we video called her grandfather, and the moment she realized it was him, she just shut her eyes. Then I finished the conversation. She opened her eyes and carried on with her day. So we can go to therapy, and she'll pretend to be sleeping. And they will talk to her. The moment they sing the bye-bye song, oops, and then we leave and she's awake.
Yeah. And her personality?
She's very feisty. My daughter, as much as she is nonverbal, you know when she doesn't want something. Okay? If you hold in the hand or trying to do something with her hand, she will pull it away or she will yell.
Okay.
So when it comes to no, she's very clear where her boundaries are. She's very, very clear. I'm glad about that. Although there was a time in therapy, so she was at OT and they were doing visual work.
Yeah.
This other thing of hers, just shut her eyes. Just shut her eyes. And then every time they did something else, she'd open her eyes. Every time they do eye work, she'd just shut her eyes. And then the therapist was like, I can't force her to do stuff she doesn't want to do, so we're going to release her.
Yeah.
And she was happy the whole way, making noises. I was just like,
like
my petrol. Girl, my petrol, my time. But otherwise, but the thing is, it took a very long time to get her to a point where we started understanding what she's doing, because it took a while for the neurologist to balance her seizure medication. So before they balanced it, she was always sleeping. She was always lethargic, uninterested, didn't participate in anything. But once we got the right balance, she's alert. I mean, even at speech therapy, they're seeing a huge difference in her intentional communication ways and all of that. So we're getting somewhere. It's just slow.
I mean,
if there's one thing I'd say to the parents is patience. This journey requires a lot of patience. Nothing happens quickly or overnight. I mean, we've been doing therapy since she was a year and a half. She's 7. We only started seeing like big changes now when she was 7. And I never quit. Every day I went. Every time she had to go to therapy, I'd load her into the car, go. If she gets in, she decides she's sleeping, we get into the car, we go back, we try again next week. So I've been doing that she's almost 8 years now. So for a good 7 years, I've just been going.
And now you're seeing those changes. And
you just keep
progress. Going. Yeah. I like it.
No, I'm telling you, before we stopped the oral feeds, so we started with oral feeds, and then one day she had oats. I don't know if it was the texture of the oats. She wasn't even choking. Every time we gave her oats, so we just knew it came.
And what's
no
your
more
favorite
oats.
Food?
Well, she's not on oral feeds anymore. She's back to peg feeding, so she does not have a choice but have Nutrini and Nutrin through the peg. So we're only starting the feeding technique again now, because she had a hectic tonsillitis. They had to go remove them. Apparently they were even falling off. They were just fraught. So we had to stop all feeding through the mouth. So we're only starting again to teach her how to use her facial muscles. So hopefully we'll see how that goes.
And how important it is to make sure that you, like you're saying, it sounds like you read a lot about her condition. You've been doing research. How important is that as a parent to make sure that you do your own research? Because sometimes you go to the doctor tells you something and you take it without doing your own research.
So for me, I find that's very important, because not every child is going to respond the same. We may have the same condition, but we're not going to respond the same. So you have to ask. I don't care how stupid I sound. I'm going to ask you questions. If I feel this is not right for my child, if I want us to check something. I mean, yesterday I was texting the one doctor. I'm like, I'm taking her for blood. Must we check for kidney function? Must we check for... I ask. And if you say no, I'm going to go do it myself. I mean, I had to change my neurologist because she was giving my daughter baclofen. Baclofen is a tablet that relaxes muscles.
Okay.
So kids with spastic cerebral palsy usually take baclofen so they're not so stiff the whole time. Okay. But my daughter has spastic cerebral palsy, but she's not stiff. She's not stiff. So the medication made her floppy. She was just, so I said to this doctor, I'm like, can we please stop this thing? Because my child is very floppy. Ignored me.
Okay.
Carried on with her prescriptions. I looked for a neurologist. When we got there, explained my story. She's like, okay, let's stop it. If she gets stiff, we'll just get back on it. And I was like, thank you. We've never gone back on it. We've stopped it and never went back. So if you feel that the doctor's not the right one for you, move. That's what I do. I'm not scared to move.
Yeah. And lastly, for yourself, what do you do to make yourself relax, happy? Because you are also important. You are Lefase before you became a mother.
Yeah.
What do you do besides gym, I know, to, for your mental health? Because you are going through a lot. It's a lot.
Pasi, people always say you're going through a lot, but I don't know life outside of this.
I hear you.
I don't know how to be anybody else outside of this. So for me, this is not going
hard.
through. Yeah, I'm not going through something. I'm living my life.
Got you.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is the life I know. This is the only life I know.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm going through something. Yes, sometimes some days feel really hard and I'm just like, then I get myself back up and we keep it moving.
So what do you do?
The things that I don't do, I go to spas like people.
Yeah.
I go to lunches with my friends.
Yeah.
I don't limit myself to the things I can and cannot do because of my child's condition. I can leave at home with the nanny like any other mother, go do the things I need to do, come back. And maybe I'm blessed because of the nanny I have. I can trust her. I know the child won't starve. I know if anything looks off, she'll be the first one to pick it up and call me and say, I don't think the child is well today. And either I must stop what I'm doing, go home, or send my brother to go fetch her, or send my partner to go fetch her and take her wherever she needs to go. I'm not going through something. I just have it different to other people.
Yeah, we can like
So my sister had a nanny and I was like, doesn't she know anyone that's looking? And she's like, she knows someone that's looking, met her and people are like, don't hire nannies from Lesotho. No. My nanny is from Lesotho and she's amazing. She's amazing.
Hey, good nannies from Lesotho.
Yeah, apparently, no, my nanny is amazing.
Yeah.
She's respectful. She doesn't do funny things. I've just had an issue where she just didn't come back when she was supposed to, but we spoke about it. We spoke about it and her explanation was she feels, because she doesn't go home a lot, which she doesn't, honestly speaking. When she goes home, she feels like I give her a short period. And then I was like, no, there's nothing wrong with telling me that you want to stay X days. Yeah. It's fine, but just tell me. Just
is she older or younger?
She's older than me. She is 42.
Yeah.
She's 42.
Because last time we had a conversation about would you have a younger or an older, and people were coming at me because I said, nah, I give it a young nanny because I don't have a husband now, but I'm just like, give it someone only me. I don't know if I'm making sense. I give it a young and nanny, but people were like, oh, Papa, you don't trust yourself.
No, for me, it depends, right? For me, experience is a real deal, right? So I'm not sure you want to leave your child with somebody who has no experience with taking care of children.
Yeah.
You can't leave a child with a child.
No.
That's just me. It has nothing to do with a man. It has nothing to do with anything.
Yes.
I need to trust you with my child.
Yeah.
I need to trust that when I leave you with my child, you're not going to leave my child and go groove and come back at the time when you know that I'll be back. That's just me. It has nothing to do with men, but no, I wouldn't trust the child with my child.
Yeah. Lastly, please give us the whole information about the foundation.
Okay, so you can either go to our Instagram page, which is Ayana_Children's_Foundation, or the YouTube page, which is Ayana Children's Foundation, TikTok, Ayana Children's Foundation, or you can the numbers there, you can call me and ask me if you need any information.
Okay.
And the website will be up. Hopefully next week we'll be ready with it, which is going to be Ayana Children's Foundation as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lefase. And
thank you for having me.
I know you said that you're not going through something, and I understand what you mean, but I to be strong for Ayana. And I just want to say thank you. You inspire a lot of women with everything that you post. Your content is always about putting women on. What if you find something that's amazing, you put us on. And that's why I followed you, not because you're hot, but also because I just love how and I just hope that Modimo Ayana. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much.